Hello, good morning. We are here with your August real estate update. So, what we were able to do this month, because the end of July was the end of the second quarter, I decided to focus on the quarter statistics to kind of give you a little bit of a bigger picture as to where we are versus where we were this time last year. So, I think there's some good data in here. Um, to help us have a look at that. So, um, what we can see, these two graphs are not the easiest to explain. However, so sales volume, as we can see here in 2024, is just behind what it was in 2023 and considerably behind what it was in 21, 22, but yet on a little bit ahead of the years previous to COVID. Um, So this is interesting because we're kind of in the hangover of the 21-22 market still. Home sellers are still struggling with, the fact that the market did fall back a significant percentage, and I'm going to show you what the consequence of that is here in a minute. And I've told you, many, many times for many, many years that days on market are not your friend. And there's a graph here that we're coming up on that probably shows that better than any graph I've seen. So we're going to cover that here in a second. So here's some good overall general statistics. So 732 residential sales in the second quarter of 2024. So that's a 9.1% decrease from the same time last year. Okay, that's fairly significant. That's almost 10% fewer homes being sold. Transactions, again, a decrease of 3.1%, which isn't that significant. Um, New listings, okay, new listings are up by almost 45%. So that tells you that the absorption of the market is slowing down. So we've got way more inventory than required, and it's taking longer for that inventory to be absorbed. Plus, we have more product coming on the market at a pace that is surpassing the absorption. So that in and of itself forces prices to go down, and which is kind of where we're at and where we have been for some time now. Currently, almost 1,700 active listings as of June 24th. That's a 22.6% increase from June of the previous year. So again, increase in uh, days on market, inventory. All these indicators are pointing towards a buyer's market. Now, I found this to be quite interesting. So here's the benchmark price of prices throughout the province, and we can see that Greater Vancouver obviously is the most expensive place in the province at 1.2. The BC average is 985, 200. And then we see places like Victoria, Central Okanagan, Chilliwack, Vancouver Island, North Okanagan, even the Shuswap Revelstoke is substantially $80,000 higher than what we are in Kamloops. So, aside from the Kootenays, Kamloops is, the least expensive place in the province. Now, what we don't see on here is, northern British Columbia, where prices are obviously going to be cheaper as well, probably in line with what's going on in the Kootenays. But, from, this kind of tells you that, Kamloops is still a very, very good buy with respect to where it sits in the province of British Columbia, which is the most attractive province in the country. The Thompson Okanagan being the most attractive region in that province makes it really the most attractive region in the country. So the fact that we're priced where we are is helpful because it puts kind of a target on us in Kamloops as a place to come to, especially if you could sell, in these markets here um, literally double your money, come and invest in Kamloops and put the rest away, so to speak. So that I think is good news for Kamloops because even though we're kind of feeling the pinch right now, I think that's going to bode well in the future when we rebound a little bit. When that'll be, I don't know. I just think everyone needs to get their head around the fact that prices need to be adjusted and are adjusting as we speak. I'm going to skip this graph. This is the one I wanted to get to. So um, this is awesome. It really shows, why it's important from a home seller point of view to be able to, have a realtor who has systems and strategies to create the desired result as soon as possible. So don't ever think that, when you tell yourself, "Oh, we're not in a hurry to sell." Well, that's okay in a rising market, but in every other market, that's a terrible attitude to have. Okay, and that's the attitude that's going to end up costing you money. So here's a perfect graph for this. So 2024 sold to ask price ratio by days on market. Okay, so we see that the homes that sold in the first month of their listing time frame sold for 98.7% of asking price, which is, that's pretty darn good. If you can achieve that, you're doing very well. Month two, we see how that drops off by 3% in a month. Okay, 3% significant. Think about that. On 500,000, that's $15,000. Okay, on a million, that's 30,000. That's not chump change. Okay, that pays for your real estate commission. Um, again, third month it drops again, and then we see how after 6 months it really starts going into the tank till you get to the 12-month period. And does this mean that the house was only worth, as an example, let's use round numbers. So say it was a million, that you started at a million, but you only sold it for 688,000. In this case here, 68.8% of asking price. Was the house only ever worth 688,000? No, of course not. But the fact that you follow, every month your price is being eroded by days on market because people are thinking, A, it's either listed too high or there's something wrong with the property. So this is, again, no better example of how important it is to sell your home quickly rather than have it sit on the market. So I love this graph. I didn't know, shamefully, I have to confess, I did not know that they actually had this graph in here. So I'm glad I found it and, was able to share that with you. So here we go. Single family sales are down by almost a full percent. Benchmark is up slightly. Days on market are up by 8.2%, and inventory is up by 34.8%. Fairly significant, I'd say. Townhouses sales are down 23%. Benchmark price up very slightly, 2.2. Days to sell are down, which is a good thing, and inventory is up dramatically at 84%. So we have some contrary factors happening here. Some stuff would point to the fact that things are happening and that the market's better than it is, and then you've got some indicators that are telling you exactly where the market's at. So it's a bit of a tug of war, but this changes from month to month. So what we can see overall is that we're in a buyer's market. Prices are still correcting, and the fact that people are learning the hard way about the correction and taking too long to sell their property, which is ultimately costing them even more money um, as days on market erode their final sale price. So that's what we have for you this week or this month. I hope that was helpful. Have the good rest of your summer. Um, yeah, we're heading into fall already, if you can believe that. And hopefully September will, there could be another quarter point drop in rates by the sounds of it. So hopefully that'll stimulate a a little bit more of a balanced market, which is really the best market to be in, one that doesn't overly favor home sellers or buyers, and it's kind of fair play, win-win type of market. So I hope we can get back to that as soon as we can, as soon as possible. If you have any questions, you want to talk about your property, talk about, we're thinking of selling, Eric, what are some of the first steps? What do we need to do to get ready? All these things are critical in this market, because the readier you are going into the process, your chance of success in executing my maximum value home selling system that I practice, will definitely pay dividends for you, because it's a revolutionizing sales system that takes very many factors into consideration that typical listing agents practices don't. So we're able to do better because we have better strategies and literally a scientific process. So that's that. Have a great weekend. And like I said, if there's anything more, 250-819-4727, Eric at ericpotato.ca. Talk to you soon. Take care, you guys. Bye bye.